Orphan Black, an alternation of flights and perchings, written by Jacqueline Bircher. Teaser. Exterior, industrial nowhere, night. Sarah pounds along the pavement. A barbed wire fence separates her from a row of train tracks. Her phone is up to her ear, ringing. On the other end of the line, Art picks up.
This isn't a great time.
Art, I found Helena.
What?
I know where she is.
Interior, military cell, night. Pitch black. Helena's outline sits hunched over on the bed, her forehead against the wall. One hand pounds against the cement. Thud, thud, thud. The light flickers, buzzes bright, and then black again. On the wall, Helena's scratched a mural of stick figures, all with question marks for heads. Interior, police station, night. Art leans against the wall in the same clothes he was in yesterday, peers around, makes sure no one's listening.
Holy shit, where?
Exterior, industrial nowhere, night.
She's with the military.
Intercut between Sarah and Art.
How'd they get her?
I don't really care about that right now.
You got coordinates?
I'm working on it.
Sarah comes upon a dilapidated local train station, crumbling brick with a row of busted turnstiles.
What are they doing to her?
I don't know, Art. I just need her out of there.
Interior, military cell, night. The lights flick on fully this time. Helena looks towards the door. A slit in the door opens and an apple falls through. It hits the floor with a thump. Helena turns away. Exterior, train station, night. A train approaches. Sarah shoves her phone between her ear and her shoulder and fumbles through her pockets looking for change to feed the turnstile. She's empty.
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah peers down the tracks. The train's approaching fast.
Sarah?
She rips her phone from her ear and jumps the turnstile just as the train screeches into the station. Puts the phone back to her ear.
Yeah, what?
Interior, police station, night.
I think I got someone who might know a thing or two.
He peers around an open doorway. Locked up in neighboring cells are Mark and Gracie. In his cell, Mark sits on the wooden bench, head in his hands. In hers, Gracie stands, one hand closed around a metal bar, her forehead resting against it. Interior, military cell, night. Helena's hands wrap around the bars and in the bed frame. She rocks back and forth. Her knuckles go white. Then she pulls herself up and vomits over the side of the bed. Exterior, train station, night. Sarah runs up beside the train as the doors open. A guard yells after her from behind.
Hey, you!
Sarah glances back, doesn't stop running. She slips onto the train.
I'm on my way.
The doors close, the train pulls away. End of teaser. Act 1. Interior, Delphine's apartment, night. Cosima has a stupid grin on her face, staring at Rebecca Levin, another clone. This time, forthright casual, wearing ripped jeans and a thin sweater.
Hi.
Rebecca takes a breath, shakes off the shock. Note, Rebecca is deaf and should both sign and speak unless otherwise noted. When talking to Rebecca, Delphine should also both sign and speak unless otherwise noted.
Dr. Cormier told me all about you.
Whoa, cool.
Delphine grabs Cosima's wrist.
Just give us a minute.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Delphine drags Cosima into the hallway.
Wait, Delphine, wait.
Once they're out of sight, Delphine releases Cosima's hand.
Okay, I have like a billion questions for you right now.
Rebecca, it's possible her sequence is different from yours.
Her infidelity sequence? How do you know about that?
Television starts blaring in the living room. Delphine peeks around the corner. Rebecca sifts through a stack of remote controls. Delphine waves at Rebecca to catch her attention.
Turn it down.
Rebecca mutes the TV. Delphine turns back to Cosima.
I'm her doctor.
Why didn't you tell me about her? Are you her monitor?
She doesn't have a monitor.
Even Rachel has a monitor.
Aldous kept Rebecca on a very long leash. She was ill growing up, in and out of dyad with all kinds of symptoms. Respiratory and auditory at first, around age 4 or 5. Then digestive, reproductive, immunological. Eventually it all sort of evened out, but when the time came there was no need for a monitor, just regular visits.
Oh my god. Did you steal her?
Diane couldn't know. If Rachel got wind of this, all 3 of us could be in danger.
You kidnapped a clone for me.
They didn't.
That's adorable.
Rebecca bangs her palm on the wall. Cosima and Delphine look up. Rebecca stands in the hallway watching them.
I know you're talking about me.
Cosima smiles wide.
Hi.
You're weird.
You're awesome.
You're not telling me something.
I hate that. You know I hate that.
Cosima looks to Delphine, shrugs.
Tell the girl what she wants to know, Dr. Cormier.
Exterior, police station, day. Art exits the station, looks around, spots Sarah huddled beneath the underpass, hood over her eyes. He walks over.
You know that hood doesn't make you invisible, right?
Piss off. You catch the kid or not?
Almost killed me, but I got it.
I want to talk to him.
Your face in this police station? Keep dreaming. He's under arrest for murder. You're not getting near him with a 10-foot pole.
I need to know what he knows.
Okay, Sarah. Interrogations? They take time.
I have to get Helena out of there.
Okay, I know. Okay, give me an hour or two. I'll see what I can get.
Sarah fidgets. Art grabs her arm gently.
Sarah, I need you to trust me. Go grab some breakfast or something. I got this.
Sarah gestures vaguely off to the distance.
I'll just wait, yeah?
Art nods. Whatever keeps Sarah calm.
All right, back to work.
He walks back into the station. Exterior, Allison's house. Backyard, day. Felix fiddles around under Allison's welcome mat. There's a key here somewhere, if only he can find it. Allison opens the door and nearly jumps at the sight of him.
Jiminy Christmas, Felix, what are you doing here?
Oh, you're home.
Felix straightens up, dusts himself off.
Why didn't you just tell me you were coming? You could have just rang the doorbell.
I've always been partial to the back door.
Allison rolls her eyes. Felix pushes past her into the house. Interior, Allison's house, basement, day. Allison closes the door behind him, locks it.
Heard you dodged the crotch rot. Congratulations.
Cosima was not supposed to tell you about that.
Yeah, well, news travels fast.
What are you doing here, Felix?
Funny story. I need to borrow your van.
What? No, I have to pick up the kids from school.
Isn't that why carpool was invented?
I'm not giving you the keys to my car.
Can't be any worse than your last adventure in the back of a van, though, can it?
Felix!
It's not anything illegal. This time. I just have to take a drive out of town. The red minivan, attractive as it is, isn't my first choice, but I'm out of options. And then, you know, I'll owe you one.
Allison considers this. She likes the idea of Felix owing her.
Fine. But if you bring it back and the tank's not full, you're dead.
Interior, police station, day. Art emerges from the interrogation room, where Mark is handcuffed to the table. The door swings and slams shut in the frame. Art walks over to Angie. She leans back in her desk chair, a scowl on her face.
He's not talking. Got any ideas?
Angie doesn't respond. She stares across the room. Art snaps a finger in front of her face.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Angie snaps out of it. Art looks over in the direction she was looking. It's Gracie, sitting in a chair near the entrance, looking tiny and lost.
What's she still doing here?
We released her hours ago. She hasn't moved.
What's her name again?
Grace Johansson.
The name jogs a memory in Art.
I knew I'd seen her before.
Wait, what?
Art walks towards Gracie.
Art?
Art brushes her off, walks over to the other side of the station. He approaches Gracie slowly, sits down next to her.
Grace, right?
She nods. They sit in silence for a moment. Art twiddles his thumbs. Gracie shifts uncomfortably. Art leans forward, rifles through his pocket, pulls out the locket he found at the crime scene.
I thought this might be yours. I found it at the antique store.
He offers it up to her. Gracie takes the locket tentatively, plays with the chain.
I bet this hasn't been easy on you. The fire at the ranch, what happened last night. You sure there isn't anyone I can call?
Gracie shakes her head.
You know, I think I might know a friend of yours. Helena
Helena?
told me all about you. Liked you a whole lot.
I liked her too.
Art looks around, makes sure no one's paying too much attention. He lowers his voice.
Grace, Helena's in some trouble.
What kind of trouble?
We're trying to find that out.
Why are you telling me?
Because I could really use your help.
Me? How?
We'll think of something. Then, I know someone who'll take you someplace safe, all right?
Gracie plays with her locket. She nods.
Okay.
Interior, Dyad, Rachel's office, day. Rachel sits at her desk watching home videos on her laptop. Scenes of young Rachel playing in the leaves with Susan Duncan. She clicks a button, the video changes. Smiling scenes of Christmas morning, a young Rachel laughing and opening presents under a tree covered in tinsel. Dr. Nealon enters. Rachel minimizes the video.
Dr. Nealon, we don't have an appointment.
There's been a development.
Regarding?
Nealon places a file on Rachel's desk. She opens it. Photos of an unfamiliar woman.
Gillian Davis.
She died this morning.
Another monitor.
Rachel closes the file, leans back in her chair.
Army, Navy.
Air Force.
Naturally.
That's 4 now.
I can, in fact, count.
Not to mention Dr. Cormier. If this continues, the program will be in serious jeopardy.
I'm aware of the ramifications.
But
I will take care of it, Dr. Nealon.
Rachel's finished with Nealon, but he doesn't move.
You are dismissed.
Interior, military lab, day. It's a small lab, but functional. Plain off-white walls. Microscopes, glass beakers, 2 large television screens. X-rays illuminated by a light box hanging on the wall. A military scientist, Pernkopf, flips a page of a document binder. He looks up at Paul, who stands adjacent to the desk.
it's just as expected.
Have you identified the cause?
Her pain threshold is remarkable. And scars like these,
He turns over an enlarged photograph of a section of scarified, pale skin.
they should take months to form, but look at the tissue. Nearly healed.
That's not what I asked.
Pernkopf touches his neck, remembering the wires Helena wrapped around it.
Can't this just be over?
That's not up to us.
But there's something else.
Pernkopf directs Paul's attention to the results of a particular medical test.
Elevated levels of HCG.
You think that's related to how she's healing?
No, I don't.
Interior, military hallway, day. Outside Pernkopf's lab, a caster clone, Corporal Miller, listens at the door. From inside, Paul and Pernkopf's muffled voices conspiring. Miller marches off, ready to put his own plan into action. End of Act 1. Act 2. Interior, police station, interrogation room, day. Mark sits handcuffed to the table, haggard and exhausted. Gracie enters the room cautiously and sits across from him.
Gracie, I never wanted this to happen. I was supposed to be done.
Gracie looks behind her. Art watches them from his desk.
It's okay.
She reaches out to take his hand. He looks up at her. She has something to say, but she's hesitating.
What is it?
It's about Helena.
What happened? Is she okay?
They think the military has her.
Mark sits up.
What? Who said that? No,
Detective Bell told me.
they can't have her. That's not... No.
But he said,
He told you to come in here and say this? So I'll tell him everything? He's using you to get to me.
she's the only family we have left.
We have each other. And the baby.
Her baby.
There's silence as they soak in the truth of it.
If you could just help her.
Listen to me. They don't have her.
No. Listen to me. They'll let you go. You want that, don't you?
You know I do.
Then just give them what they want.
Interior, Delphine's apartment, kitchen, day. Cosima and Delphine sit at the table. Rebecca sits atop the kitchen counter.
Yesterday, you told me we're all the same. And today you're saying I can be different? And you can use me to save her? Possibly. Ironic. Because I'm deaf.
Because your symptoms went away. If we can find out why, hers could too.
You still haven't figured it out after I've been cut open piece by piece my entire life. No one knows why. It fixed itself. Please.
Rebecca furrows her brow.
Why are you so desperate?
Delphine doesn't answer. Rebecca looks at Cosima, then back to Delphine. They sign without speaking. We caption.
Are you having sex with her?
That's not appropriate.
Rebecca's jaw drops, surprised and a little weirded out. She can put those pieces together. Her doctor and her clone.
You're not appropriate.
Cosima waves a hand between them.
Hey, hello. What are you guys talking about?
Back to voices.
It's nothing.
She didn't tell me that you were girlfriends.
Delphine gives Rebecca a sharp look.
What? You didn't?
Okay, you know what? This is awkward for everyone, so let's just let the one slide and move on.
That seems like a good idea to Rebecca. She changes the subject.
Why aren't we at Dyad? I always go to Dyad.
Things are changing.
Why?
Delphine hesitates.
Dr. Leach's dead.
That shocks Rebecca. Then her eyes narrow at Delphine.
You knew I wouldn't have come here with you if I knew that.
It isn't about that.
What's going on?
Rebecca hops off the kitchen counter, suddenly angry.
It's always about that with you.
Stop being so difficult.
It's not your decision. Dr. Leakey understood that.
Dr. Leakey thought it was interesting to watch you struggle.
Whoa, hey, that's enough.
A cochlear implant is not offensive. You could hear again. It could.
Rebecca stomps her foot and slams her palm on the counter. Her signs get sharper, bigger, faster.
I don't need one. I don't want one. You want to use me to save her? Fine. Go ahead. I'll sign on the dotted line. But you stop about cochlear. Understood?
Yeah, okay. Deal.
Delphine doesn't respond.
Delphine.
It takes Delphine a moment too long before she gives in.
Fine.
Interior, the Colonel's office, day. A small lamp on a dark, heavy wooden desk sparsely lights the generously sized office. Badges of honor proudly hang in frames on the walls. 2 deer heads are mounted on the wall behind the desk, necks craned away from one another. The Colonel, middle-aged and broad-shouldered with perfect posture, sits between them, sorting through files on his desk. The names and pictures of the deceased monitors stand out. There's a knock on the door.
Enter.
Miller enters, salutes. For a moment, the Colonel seems confused, but then puts it together.
At ease.
The Colonel stacks the papers neatly on his desk.
Who sent you?
I brought myself, sir.
The Colonel raises an eyebrow.
That's rather unorthodox.
I have a proposition for you, sir. Permission?
Go ahead.
Your progress with the Lita clone is at a standstill. Herncott's authority has been compromised. You need to introduce a new player.
And who do you suggest?
Myself.
You? Your qualifications being...
Ambition, sir. And a 97% success rate in read method counter intel scenarios.
Yes, scenarios.
You can study my field record. But more than that, she'd trust me.
The Colonel leans back, considering.
I'm asking you to trust me too, sir.
Interior, diner, day. Art enters, the door chimes. Gracie follows behind him. Sarah, sitting hunched over at the counter, looks up. She sees Art, stands up from her seat, walks over to him.
What do you find?
Sarah, this is Grace.
Sarah looks Gracie up and down, looks at Art. So what?
Grace came in with Mark last night.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Art gives Sarah a look. He points towards the counter.
Grace, why don't you go sit over there for a minute?
Gracie obliges, not saying a word. Her eyes are wide as she takes in Sarah. So much like Helena, and so absolutely not.
Can you not find a teaspoon of empathy?
Where is Helena?
I'm working on it, but she doesn't have anyone else.
You want me to babysit while you crack Castor?
You got a kid, right? Figure it out.
He exits.
Art!
He waves at her from out the door. Sarah walks back to the counter, annoyed. She sits down next to Gracie, tries to play nice.
So, sorry about all this.
Gracie regards Sarah suspiciously.
You were with that kid, Mark, right? Is he your boyfriend?
He's my husband.
That catches Sarah off guard.
You sure you don't have anyone I can call?
No, it's just me. I mean us, just us.
Gracie wraps her arms around her stomach. Sarah glances over at her. There's something familiar about that look.
How old are you?
16?
They stare at each other for a moment.
Hey, can I get a banana split, 2 spoons?
Coming right up.
The waitress disappears. Gracie looks at Sarah, confused.
You like ice cream, yeah?
Gracie nods.
Don't be scared, alright? I won't. I know what it's like.
Interior, Delphine's apartment, living room, day. Delphine prepares her equipment at the table. Cosima sits next to her. She tugs at Delphine's shirt.
Hey, Delphine.
What's the matter?
Cosima glances over at Rebecca in the kitchen, who peers inside Delphine's refrigerator, evaluating its contents.
If this works, what does it mean for me?
It means you're cured.
No, I mean,
Cosima takes a small, uneasy gesture around her ear.
Don't worry.
I'm not really sure about this.
If we save your life, we can fix the rest later.
Rebecca bangs the refrigerator door closed, walks over.
You ready yet?
Delphine nods. Rebecca sinks into the couch petulantly. Delphine lines up 4 empty vials. With a marker, she writes 461K4 on each one.
What is that number? 461K4.
You.
What do you mean?
That's your ID tag.
A long beat. There's a look of betrayal on Rebecca's face.
You numbered us?
Wasn't my decision.
Cosima reaches for the marker from Delphine.
Hey, why don't you let me do this? You take what you need.
Delphine gives in. Gestures for Rebecca's left arm. Rebecca hesitates. She taps her right.
This one.
Delphine sighs, annoyed, but she doesn't press the issue. She rolls up Rebecca's sleeve, ties her arm, finds a vein, and fills the syringe. Rebecca seems bored by the process, like she's done this 1,000 times before. But there's something sad about it. Cosima watches as Rebecca wipes away a tear. Delphine, unfazed, hands a vial to Cosima, then turns to fill up another. Cosima sticks a new label over the old, then places it aside carefully. Rebecca looks over at it. The label says, Rebecca Levine. Interior, diner, day. Sarah and Gracie are halfway through their banana split.
Right before I had my daughter, I used to crave these all the time.
Did you have a boyfriend?
No, not really. Just me, you know. Just us. I wasn't much older than you.
Were you afraid?
More than I'd ever been in my life.
Gracie plays with the cherry with her spoon. She glances up at Sarah, asking for permission.
Yeah, go on, take it.
She does. She bites down, pops out the stem with her fingers.
Elena told me about you.
You know Helena?
She's my friend.
Yeah, mine too. She'll be okay. We're gonna do the best we can.
Interior, dyad, hallway, day. Rachel walks down the hallway towards her office. She slows, seeing who's waiting for her. Marianne Bowles stands behind the glass doors, observing Rachel's architectural modifications. Outside, Charlotte sits quietly holding her doll. Rachel walks past Charlotte, refusing to acknowledge her presence. Charlotte hugs her doll closer, not saying a word. She's learned to become smaller in front of Rachel. Rachel pushes open the glass door. Interior, dyad, Rachel's office, day. Marianne turns to face Rachel.
It isn't polite to be late for your own meeting, Rachel.
I've been otherwise occupied cleaning up your messes.
Well, that's your job now, isn't it? As director of Dyad.
I can't have any more monitors turning up mysteriously deceased.
It's a calculated move, dear. You should be thanking me. I'm clearing our camp of the enemy.
I'm not sure you realize how fundamental the monitors are to this program.
I am a monitor.
Rachel scoffs.
Charlotte is a miracle.
She's a burden, a blasphemy.
Marianne glances over at Charlotte through the glass doors. Charlotte has been listening the whole time, but when she sees her mother looking over at her, she turns away. Marianne turns back to Rachel.
If you ever suggest something like that again,
I can suggest whatever I'd like about your daughter.
Charlotte is just as important to topside schools as any of you. You know that better than most.
Rachel registers the warning, and her eyes flash with anger.
I don't care.
Marianne looks at her sadly.
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel's having none of it. Her tone is toxic.
Have another monitor killed, and that's the last you'll see of your beloved Charlotte.
End of Act 2. Act 3. Interior, Mrs. S's house, living room, day. Sarah sits with Kira at a table, helping her with her homework. Mrs. S paces.
I don't like this, Sarah.
Where else was I supposed to take her? I thought this is what you do.
Does she even have a clue what she just walked into?
I don't know, do we?
We can't collect strays anymore.
Gracie descends from upstairs, hair wet, wearing Sarah's old clothes.
Hey,
How about a cup of tea, chicken? Come in.
Mrs. S leads Gracie into the kitchen.
Is Gracie gonna stay with us?
for a little while, I think, yeah.
How do you know her?
She's a friend of Auntie Helena's.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, kitchen, day. Mrs. S sets a cup of tea in front of Gracie at the table.
Sarah tells me you've got yourself in a spot of trouble there.
I guess.
Well, you're not the first. You won't be the last.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, living room, day.
And she needs our help?
Yeah, she does.
Because she's going to have a baby.
I don't know.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, kitchen, day.
I know this is hard, love, but if you don't want this to happen, it doesn't have to.
No, I couldn't.
That's okay. It's up to you.
No, it's not just that.
Then what is it? It's not mine. What do you mean, love?
Interior, Mrs. S's house, living room, day.
I hope I'll have a sister.
It doesn't really work like that, Monkey.
Sure it does.
Mrs. S enters the living room.
Sarah,
Yeah?
I think you should come in here.
Exterior, Beckman Inn, day. The red minivan pulls into a parking spot. Half pub, half boarding house. This place has a rustic kind of charm. Interior, Beckman Inn, bar, day. Felix enters. It's new for him, but we've been here before. He slides up to the bar, all swaggered. He addresses a bartender, female, 30s, dressed in black.
I'm looking for Carlton. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, you and everyone else. I'll save you the trouble. You know his type.
But I'm everyone's type.
Whatever you say. Room 205, just keep it down. Still daytime, for God's sake.
At the back of the bar, Felix spies a doorway that leads to a set of stairs. He straightens up, walks back purposefully. But before he can make it there, a hand reaches out and grabs his wrist as he walks past a booth. Carlton.
Gal's right, you know. You're not my type, pretty as you are.
Felix jumps, extracts himself from Carlton's grip.
That's not what I'm here about.
Something clicks for Carlton. This is not the meeting he was expecting. Carlton stands from his seat, approaches Felix, predatory.
Whoa there. Easy now.
Better get it out quick.
Siobhan Sadler. You know her?
What about her?
I'm more interested in you, to be honest.
I'm sure you are.
What do you know about Rachel Duncan?
Duncan.
Yeah, that's right.
Carlton grabs Felix by the shoulder and brusquely leads him to a stairway.
Hey, what are you...
Interior, Beckman Inn, stairway, day. Carlton shoves Felix away. Felix nearly tumbles down the stairs, but grabs hold of the railing at the last moment.
What do you really want? Prying where you don't belong?
I told you! Rachel!
Stop acting the maggot. I know who you are.
Right. Lovely.
I gave Chiffon all I had, so she can stop asking about Duncan, Kassav, Maeve, all of it. Leave the past alone. It ain't got nothing you want.
Just live for the moment, then. Drink it down, get it up, regular bacchanalia.
Nothing wrong with that.
Then what's with the list?
That's what you're after. Kassav's list.
Carlton shakes his head, approaches Felix.
Listen here, whatever your name is. I paid plenty for other people's crimes, and I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Tell S she won't find me no more. She wants to sew it up. She don't need me, nor you. Take it from someone who knows. Keep your head down round that one. She only causes trouble.
Right. Certainly looks that way.
You stay out of this, you understand? Let it be. It's our torch to bear.
Carlton exits the stairway. Felix catches his breath. What the hell just happened? Interior, Delphine's apartment, day. Rebecca sits on the couch. Cosimo walks back from the front door, leans against the wall.
Hey, Rebecca.
Rebecca doesn't respond. Cosimo waves. Rebecca looks up.
Hey, Delphine, Dr. Cormier just went to go drop off your samples. I've got a guy. He'll run them.
Okay.
Cosimo sits down opposite Rebecca, enunciates clearly.
Listen. Or whatever. I know this is weird.
Cosimo makes the sign for weird she picked up earlier, a W crawling from right to left.
Weird. Right?
Rebecca gives a small smile, nods. She signs it too. Weird.
Yeah. And we don't know each other, not yet. But we could, you know? We could be sisters.
I can't stay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You're scared.
Cosimo shrugs, guilty. A tiny nod.
Don't be. I know it's lonely and frustrating, but sometimes good things come from bad, you know?
Is that why you don't want to co-clear?
Rebecca shakes her head.
I'm not here to be your inspirational YouTube video.
That, yes. But I'm just curious, what about all the other stuff?
You're gonna try to sell me on the birds.
What?
Hearing people, they're always going on and on about the birds. Oh, that's so beautiful. When you wake up in the morning, chirp, 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 chirp. I don't get it. I mean, that seems so annoying.
Cosimo laughs.
I guess it's easy to get caught all up in the science.
It's not science for me. I like my life. It's not always easy, but it's mine. It's me. It doesn't need to be fixed. I have a business, a dog, a fiance. Look.
On a thin chain around her neck, Rebecca wears a silver ring with a tiny diamond. She holds up the ring to show Cosimo, smiling at it proudly.
It's really beautiful.
Dr. Cormier, she's different. When she's with you, it's good. Good different. Nicer. Happier. You're good for her.
It's complicated.
She doesn't give up, ever. It's exhausting.
Maybe that's good for me too.
Interior police station, interrogation room, day. Art enters the interrogation room. Mark eyes him distrustfully as he sits down opposite him.
You've been sitting here a while. Got anything to say?
You used Gracie. She's just a girl.
She can take care of herself.
What would you know about it?
You're 19, kid. You really want to give me advice on women?
Let me out of here.
You killed that man in the antique store. We both know you killed the one in the diner too. No one's coming for you. That means I'm all you got.
Mark doesn't say anything.
I got a file on you a mile long. You know that? You think I don't know about military? The Proletheans? I know everything. Helena, Pastor Johansson. I was there when Maggie Chen died. Rollins? I know. So start talking.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, kitchen, day. Mrs. S sits at the table with Gracie. Sarah leans against the wall, face buried in her hand.
Okay, start from the beginning. One more time.
Please don't make me.
Your father did this to you?
Us, give it a rest.
Sarah, we need
Not
to...
just me.
The room goes silent. Everything, finally, horrifically, clicks into place. Sarah's face falls.
Helena.
My father, he kept saying Helena was a miracle.
Oh my God.
Mrs. S moves closer to Gracie, takes her hand.
Gracie, love, listen to me. It's very important you tell me if there was anyone else.
I don't know.
Please.
I don't. I swear.
Interior, military cell, day. Helena lies on a thin mattress, curled up into herself, staring off into space. The door opens. Miller enters. Helena sits up, curious, leans her back against the wall.
Why are you here?
I came to check on you.
He smiles. Helena narrows her eyes at him.
Where is Mr.?
Mister's not coming.
You are not Mark.
Oh, yeah?
You are Brad.
Miller springs forward, grabs Helena by the arm.
Don't forget who's in charge here.
He twists her arm as she fights back. Interior, the colonel's office, day. Paul slides a file across the colonel's desk. The colonel opens it, reads it, looks at it closer.
It's a mistake.
It's not a mistake.
Interior, military cell, day. Miller and Helena struggle. Miller pins Helena to the floor.
Let me go!
No!
I don't like to be touched.
I don't like to be disobeyed.
Helena overpowers Miller. She throws him against the wall, grabs hold of his throat.
What is your name?
Miller struggles against her.
Not Mark. What is it?
Interior, the colonel's office, day. The colonel looks up at Paul, realization dawning over him.
Is there a problem, sir?
The colonel closes the file, stands up from his desk.
Yes, there is.
Interior, military cell, day. Helena's grasp tightens around Miller's throat.
Give me your name!
Jacob!
Helena moves closer to him. Their noses almost touch.
Jacob. What happened to you, Jacob? Who made you this way?
Miller shoves Helena away.
You don't get to touch me.
Helena hisses at him.
You're nothing, you stupid little girl.
God will punish you, Jacob.
God doesn't live here.
Miller moves in closer, murder in his eyes.
There is darkness in you.
There is darkness in all of us.
No! No!
The cell door bursts open. Miller looks up at the colonel in the doorway, distracted.
Corporal, I asked you just to check on her.
Helena takes her chance and throws Miller off of her. She roars at him like an animal. The colonel enters, steps between them. Seeing him, Helena goes rigid, in ready position to pounce.
There's no need for that, Helena.
Helena breathes heavily. She doesn't move. The colonel grabs Miller and shoves him out the door. He closes the door on Helena, leaving her panting after him. Interior, military hallway, day. Paul stands in the hallway as the colonel throws Miller against the wall. Helena watches through the slit in the door.
You are not to touch her anymore.
You said...
I said no such thing. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
The colonel lets go of Miller, walks off past Paul. Paul stares at Miller like he knows exactly what he's done. Interior, police station, interrogation room, day. Art circles Mark. All bad cop swagger.
Fort Stimson,
Yes, that's what I told you.
Art palms the table, glares at Mark.
I need more than that. Tell me about Aspis.
You just want to use me. Aspis never even wanted Helena.
Who did they want that?
They didn't want anyone. I know what this is about. Childs, right? That's what you're really after.
Beth?
She told me to get out, so I did it. Now what? You're using Helena, so I'll tell you how she got in there?
Beth got into Fort Stimson?
She said she could get in and out of there whenever she wanted.
Art takes a beat. He moves closer to Mark, voice low.
Rollins, if you're lying to me, we're gonna have a big problem.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, day. Sarah's phone rings. Art. She answers, walks into the hall.
Art, I need Helena out of there now.
Interior, police station, day.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think there's only one way we're gonna be able to pull this off.
Interior, Mrs. S's house, day.
You can't be bloody serious.
Exterior, military base, checkpoint, later. Sarah drives up to the guard station. Takes in the vast, ominous-looking base.
Holy shite.
She lowers her window, persona on, hands a guard her license.
Elizabeth Childs?
End of Act 3. Act 4. Exterior, military base, checkpoint, night. Sarah wraps her fingers around the steering wheel. Straight ahead, a clean, sparse road with wide sidewalks. Low, gray buildings in the background. At the checkpoint, the operator runs her license details. Breathe. Don't smile. Beth doesn't smile. Interior, police station. Interrogation room, earlier. Cross-armed, Art continues grilling Mark.
They'll run your ID at the checkpoint to make sure you have access.
Exterior, military base, checkpoint, night. The barrier rises. The operator offers Beth's license back to Sarah. She takes it, drives off, furtively scans her surroundings. She's going deep into the lion's lair.
In the northwest corner, there's a group of buildings spread out.
Sarah parks, exits the car. Here we go. Interior, police station, interrogation room earlier. Mark gestures for a pen.
You got any paper?
Art rips off a sheet from a notepad, sets it in front of Mark with a pen. Mark starts roughly sketching a layout.
The building you want is on the left here, but you need to enter the right instead.
Why?
The left is personnel only. Special clearance, you won't have that.
Exterior, military base, night. Sarah smooths Beth's blouse. Heads down the sidewalk to a windowless gray building to the right. It's unmarked, institutional. She pushes open the heavy metal door. Interior, military base, lobby, night. Sarah steps into a clinical gray bleakness. Some uniformed personnel mill about here and there.
There'll be a scan. No medals.
She spies a security guard next to a metal detector. He looks at her. Recognition. She approaches.
Beth, it's been a while.
She fishes Beth's license from her pocket, slides it at him, arches her shoulders back, doubling up with Beth posture.
You know how it is.
He glances at the license. It's practically a formality. He hands it back, nods towards the metal detector, doesn't seem to notice Sarah eyeing the handgun on his utility belt. Sarah steps forward steadily through the detector. Nothing.
Beth,
She turns slowly. He's got a badge between his fingers, a visitor's pass. He eyes her. She should know this drill.
Right.
Sarah goes back, snags it with a sheepish grin, walks off. Interior police station, interrogation room earlier.
Getting into the easy part. Now you have to find her.
And how do we do that?
Interior military base, hall, night. Sarah walks cautiously down a hall lined with offices. She clocks uniformed occupants busy behind sleek black computers. Nobody notices her. She blends, moves along. Interior police station, interrogation room, earlier. Art circles around Mark, checks out the crude map he's drawn.
A tunnel. There's a stairway on the west side of the building.
Interior, military base, stairwell, night. Sarah pushes open the door to a stairway. A cement well descends into the bowels of the earth.
4 flights down, level 5.
She pounds down the stairs. Without anyone watching, she's back to Sarah. She reaches a gray door at the end of the stairwell. A door plate reads level 5 in thick letters. Interior, police station, interrogation room earlier.
But then you'll hit a wall.
What do you mean?
There's a keypad, you need a code.
Interior, military base, stairwell, night. Sarah tries to open the door. It doesn't give. There's a keypad to the right of the handle. Her fingers hover over the keypad, hesitant. Interior, police station, interrogation room earlier.
So you're gonna tell me the code?
I don't...
Art places both hands on the table, leans in close.
Think hard.
Interior, military base, stairwell, night. Sarah examines the keypad, tries the combination 27754. Keypad beeps red. Access denied.
Shit.
Interior police station, interrogation room earlier.
You really wanna help, Elena? Gracie? Prove it!
I'm trying! I'm just...
Mark's jaw works. He closes his eyes, tries to visualize it.
2, 5...
Art puts the pen to pad as Mark desperately brainstorms. Interior, military base, stairwell, night. Sarah tries again. 22754. Access denied.
2, 7, 5...
Sarah's turned to rack her memory. She runs her hands through her hair.
Shit, come on. Come on, come on.
Interior police station, interrogation room earlier. Mark whispers to himself, trying to conjure recollection.
2, 7, 5... 277... 45?
He opens his eyes.
27745.
Interior, military base, stairwell, night. Sarah punches in one more code, 27745. The keypad lights green, access approved. She pushes into interior, military base, tunnel, night. A long gray cement hallway, deserted. White fluorescent lights buzz and flicker on the ceiling. She dashes down the length of it. Her footfalls echo.
What happened when we get out of the tunnel?
Interior police station, interrogation room earlier. Mark turns his attention to his map. He draws rough lines indicating a new subdivision.
Go down deeper. Subdivision B7.
Interior military base stairwell, night. Sarah pushes into another stairwell, steep and narrow. Down 2 flights, exits, checking both ways for good measure. Interior police station, interrogation room earlier.
What's on B7?
The things that don't exist.
Interior military base, subdivision B7, night. Sarah's confronted by a long hallway of unmarked black doors. It's a labyrinth of perpendicular halls lit by evenly spaced white lighting. Endless possibilities. She moves down the hall slowly. The pipes rumble. There's a humming from the walls. And the soft click of Sarah's steps in Beth's shoes. Interior police station, interrogation room earlier.
Jesus, this place sounds like a maze.
Mark tilts his head. He isn't disagreeing.
Tell me about this, Rollins. If she actually manages to get in, what are her chances of getting out?
That's up to her.
Interior military base, subdivision B7, night. All the doors look just alike. She tries one, then another, all locked. She spins, lost. Hang on. To the right, there's something about one particular door. A padlock preventing a piece of metal from being slid open. The right height for a window. She tries the handle. Locked, of course. Down lower, a metal slit. Sarah crouches down, opens it slowly. Through the slit, 2 eyes meet her gaze. Sarah presses her hand against the metal.
Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in.
Sarah jumps up, startled. Standing at the end of the hallway is another caster clone, military buzzed and uniformed, leaning against the wall. There's something familiar about him. The smirk, the charm. He walks towards her. His gait's a little off. A quick flash to the photos of the caster clones from Beth's box. Not Casey, not Rollins. Sarah puts it together.
Harrison.
He looks at the door, then looks back at her.
You got anything to say for yourself?
She's caught. Game over. But then she's back.
I got a little lost.
The Colonel wants to see you.
Who?
Drop the act.
Sarah hesitates. He knows.
You gonna make me drag you down there or something?
Sarah looks at the door, can feel Helena on the other side.
Hello? Earth to Beth. Let's go.
Her eyes narrow for a fraction of a second. Not over yet.
Yeah, okay, fine.
He turns. Sarah follows, a stride behind. They come to an elevator bay. He hits the down arrow. The doors open. Interior, military base elevator, continuous. Sarah steps in. Harrison enters behind her. Hits B9. The doors close. An enclosed space with a caster clone. Great. 7. Sarah holds her breath. 8. Harrison shakes his head, pulls the emergency brake, turns to face her as the elevator stops.
You got a lot of nerve showing up here, you know that?
It's none of your business.
Are you serious? I helped you, and then you pull some damn vanishing act. Where the hell have you been?
What do you want me to say? Sorry?
I needed you. You know what? Forget it. You could talk to the Colonel.
Harrison releases the emergency brake. The elevator hums. The display flashes 9. The doors open. Sarah exits, but Harrison holds the doors and grabs her wrist.
Beth?
Sarah spins around to face him.
What?
He lets go of her, backs away unsteadily.
Never mind. Nothing.
What?
Don't keep the Colonel waiting.
The elevator doors close. Interior military base, subdivision B9, continuous. Sarah looks around. A hallway of brick arches. There's a stairwell at the far end. Sarah runs towards it. But then, a door opens right in front of her. Sarah halts. The Colonel. He looks her up and down. There's a deep interest etched in his face.
Elizabeth, how nice of you to make an appearance.
I heard you wanted to see me.
You talked to Harrison.
Yeah, well, here I am. You've seen me.
The Colonel opens the door to his office wide and motions her in. Sarah hesitates, but inside she spies a ring of keys on his desk. Interior, the Colonel's office, continuous. She steps inside, stands in the center of the room, formulating a plan. The deer heads on the wall stare at her out of their dead, glassy eyes. The Colonel closes the door.
I didn't think you'd come back here, not after everything you accused me of last time.
Something came up, work-related.
You've never come here for anything work-related before.
Sarah takes a step back, pretends to examine the decor.
Everything looks just the same.
Der scheint gut.
Sorry?
The Colonel smiles.
Has your German escaped you?
The language curveball. She takes a calculated risk, looks the Colonel straight in the eye.
My German got shot in the head.
Witty.
Laughter dies.
How'd you pick up that from her?
What?
The wit, Sarah.
Sarah freezes. The Colonel approaches. Sarah puts as much space between them as possible, keeps the act rolling.
Who's Sarah?
You nailed it. Just right.
They circle each other. Sarah keeps one eye on the keys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not Beth.
She brushes him off, turns her back to him.
Of course I am.
Elizabeth is dead.
Sarah lets out a shaky breath. She's trapped. Then something catches her eye. A photo in a frame. She recognizes it. A little girl with a red bike. Sarah frowns. It's a shot in the dark, but it's the only shot she's got.
How could you say that, Daddy?
The Colonel stops. He wasn't expecting her to know that. Sarah steadies. She's back in control.
You think I'd just let you do this?
You're not her.
And that's why you could do it. Lock her up.
In a flash, the Colonel moves to grab her neck. Sarah swerves, but not fast enough. He catches her shoulder, pulls back her hair behind her left ear. Her eyes go wide as the Colonel finds what he thought he wouldn't. The scar that Daniel gave her, right behind her ear, same place as Beth's. Sarah shoves him away, Beth pumping through her veins.
That's what you need to recognize me? The scar from the mountain bike crash.
You don't understand. You couldn't have survived.
What do you care?
I'm your father, Elizabeth.
How could you do this to her?
You can't know what that was like for me.
So, what? You just buried the guilt deep down, where no one could find it, just like you taught me. Right, Daddy?
I did what I had to.
While the Colonel's gaze is locked on Sarah, her fingers discreetly find the keys on his desk.
You think that makes you a man? That's pathetic. That's a bloody disgrace, and you know it.
Sarah stops dead. The Colonel tilts his head. Her slip-up lies between them like a grenade.
Sarah.
Sarah bolts, keys clutched tightly in her fist, out the door and into the hallway. Interior, military base, subdivision B9, continuous. She sprints down the hall, the Colonel on her tail. Sarah curves a corner, pushes into interior military base stairwell, continuous. She takes the stairs 2 at a time, 2 flights up. Interior military base, subdivision B7, continuous. She emerges back in the maze, her eyes dart along the identical doors. She'll never find Helena. Sarah knocks on each door as she passes. 2 knocks. 1 door after another as she runs. Nothing. Then, 2 knocks back. Sarah stops. She sticks 1 key into the lock. Doesn't turn. Tries another. No luck. 1 more, long and rusty. It fits. The door clicks open. And there's Helena, kneeling in the doorway, looking hollow. Sarah reaches to grab her arm, but Helena shrinks back.
Helena, we have to go.
Helena shakes her head, eyes wide.
It's me, it's Sarah.
The Colonel's footsteps grow closer around the corner.
Please.
Helena moves forward tentatively.
This isn't over, Sarah.
Sarah runs to the elevator, strikes the up arrow with her fist, looks back. Helena still hasn't followed. The elevator opens. Sarah's urgency rises. Last chance.
Helena!
The Colonel turns the corner, stands immense, glowering. Helena looks up at him. She doesn't move. Then, Harrison comes into view. Helena backs away immediately, towards Sarah holding the elevator doors.
Beth, what are you?
Harrison looks from Sarah to Helena, then at the Colonel.
Helena!
Helena reaches for Sarah's outstretched hand. The sisters' hands connect. Sarah pulls her inside the elevator, slams the button. The doors close. Two halves reunited. End of Act 4. Act 5. Interior police station, night. Art enters, drained. A bag of greasy dinner in his hands. Angie sits at her desk. She spots Art as he walks past.
Hey, where have you been?
She gets up, stops him from walking any further.
Not now, Ange.
Okay, maybe next time you decide to go derail a murder investigation, you can at least let your partner know.
He'll talk. Shake him up enough.
We're done with Roland's, Art.
We're off the case.
There is no case. The government showed up half an hour ago. Snatched him right up.
What?
We're never gonna see that kid again. And he was the last thread we had of whatever Beth was up to.
Interior, Delphine's apartment, kitchen, night. Cosima is curled up asleep on the couch. Rebecca wanders over to the kitchen, where Delphine has her phone to her ear.
No, I understand. No, I don't know. Thank you, Scott.
Delphine hangs up, deflated. Rebecca sits on a stool as Delphine pours herself a glass of wine. They sign without speaking, recaption.
You can't use it.
Delphine closes her eyes, shakes her head. She takes a drink.
You were my last idea. I risked everything.
I thought maybe you'd be happy.
Why would I be happy?
No chance of her becoming deaf now, right? Since you can't use me.
You could have saved her life.
But would you have let her live it?
Delphine hardens. She stops signing. Rebecca continues.
Diane worked so hard to keep you alive. I needed this to work.
You can't keep expecting me to be things that I'm not.
I just thought.
What? You thought if I met her, if I liked her, then I could fix it up? That I could fix it? It doesn't work like that. Grow up.
I love her.
Then tell her that. But don't you dare tell her. You're out of ideas.
Rebecca grabs her overnight bag, gestures towards the couch.
You can sleep out here tonight.
She storms off to Delphine's bedroom and slams the door. Delphine takes another drink, downs the glass. Over on the couch, Cosima curls deeper into herself, eyes open. She's overheard enough. Another dead end. Interior, Felix's hallway, night. Rain pounds against the building outside. The lights flicker. Sarah drags Helena up the steps that lead to Felix's loft.
Sarah! Helena, please, we're almost home. Sister, I think I'm bleeding.
Sarah stops in her tracks.
What?
Helena holds out her hand, covered in blood. Sarah looks at Helena's mouth, but that's not where it came from. Lower. There's blood running down Helena's leg. Helena emits a moan and doubles over. Sarah catches her.
Hey. It's okay. Shh, it's okay.
Helena lets out a sob.
Oh, my babies! I know, it's okay. Shh, I've got you.
They collapse on the steps, Helena crying into Sarah like a wounded animal. End of show.